always see Mamie Till-Mobley in this moment of her son's funeral and opening up that casket. And I think that's a very powerful and important way of seeing her. But it's also a limiting way for me. I mean, we always see her as this grieving Black mother. And of course, she is responding to the tragic death of her son. And so what I want to do is really think about what was she doing in the 45 plus years, you know, from the moment her son is killed up until her death in 2003. It was hard for me to think that she wasn't doing anything else, especially when we credit Emmett Till's murder as one of the impetus for the civil rights movement. My project is really tracing her not only as this mother, but as an activist, as an educator, as a lobbyist in political fights for racial justice, and really thinking of her as a foremother. I thought about Mamie Till-Mobley and the things that she was doing after her son's death, and I started tracing those movements to our current fight for racial justice and seeing what other parents and other mothers are doing for their children. Rosa Parks, she was also very critical in thinking about how Emmett Till can help people and motivate them to do social justice and activism work. Just a few days prior to her taking that stand on the Montgomery bus, she was attending a rally in a Black church in Montgomery. One of the speakers at that rally was Dr. T.R.M. Howard, who was also with Mamie Till-Mobley in this moment of activism. Mamie Till stayed at Dr. T.R.M. Howard's house during the murder trial of her sons, and he was very critical and getting the word out about Emmett Till throughout Mississippi. And this was also Martin Luther King Jr.'s church that Rosa Parks was visiting at this rally. Emmett Till is killed in 1955. 1956, Mamie Till-Mobley enrolls in college. And she really wanted to think about, impacting other kids like her son. And so she was very intentional on not only teaching, but where she wanted to teach. So she taught in the South Side of Chicago, teaching mostly underserved, poor, Black individuals, but she knew that the love that she had been ripped away from and giving to her son, that there were other children out there for her to do this work. What she is also doing is making the case that you have these two figures that were pivotal for the civil rights movement, Dr. King and of her son. And she's also very intentional about teaching them Black history. She's given them confidence with their public speaking skills. And I think most importantly is she's serving as a mentor, a local mentor in these neighborhoods where these children live, where they see someone who, of course, they know as a historical figure. Something tragic happened to this woman, but she never gave up, and she's continuing to live out her purpose, which is to educate others. And although we cannot, bring Emmett Till back, I think there are still ways for us to achieve justice, right? Sometimes justice can mean accountability. Sometimes justice can mean action. And what we are seeing in this moment is that there is a committed response to making sure that not only Emmett Till, but his mother, they are remembered in our national landscape. It's a lot of different moving parts with this story that I am happy to tell through the lens of Mamie Till-Mobley.